Mukesh, amazing, mate. Thank you so much for making the time to join us here. So before we get into it, I just wanted to take some time to talk about background, your journey into properties and working with Quiddity Property Education, and then we'll get into the deal. So
Sure.
you've come from Solihull, so thank you so much for making the journey this morning. You've just told me that it's taken an hour, which is nothing really, and then now it's just going to be half an hour.
Yes.
I might move to Solihull, but I am investing in the Midlands, so watch that space. So tell me a bit more about you, Mukesh. So talk me about briefly about your kind of career, and also why property and why title split.
Yeah, so for me, my career has always been in marketing.
Yeah.
And then how things are changing, we start looking at future investment. So with some inheritance money, we wanted to invest money into property.
Yeah.
So for me, straight away you think of buy-to-let. And I thought, okay, that's brilliant. Let's quickly do it. So we quickly bought a buy-to-let in just outskirts of Birmingham in Sutton Coldfield, which is great. We thought, okay, let's do another buy-to-let. And then something back in my head thinking, we're going to run out of money soon because I can't recycle the cash. And then you wait for the capital appreciation. And then I saw your videos on social media. TikTok.
Yeah.
I saw your videos on TikTok. I said to my wife, Ash, I said, oh, shall I get in touch? Because I wasn't comfortable with HMO because of the regulations are changing, utility rates, and also the massive capital investment required for HMOs.
The development stuff.
Yeah. And then would you recoup that return on investment? Yeah. And I thought, well, I quite like the idea of title split. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Let's try it. So therefore...
But what was it that attracted you? Is it that the fact that you recycle your cash out?
Recycle the cash out.
Yeah.
I think that in order to build up the portfolio,
Yes.
The best way is to recycle the money out
Yes.
as possible. So obviously we organised a call.
Cool. Yeah.
And then you thought, right, my course is next month.
Yes.
Go on it.
And that was it. That was it. Yeah, that was literally a month later.
A month later, the course was,
Yes.
So I think we spoke in October. The course was in November. Yes.
So okay. So tell me a bit more about then the journey. So you came to the course and obviously you found out about the title split stuff, and then you joined my one-to-one program.
Correct.
So from that, how much? So let's talk about now the deal, and we'll come back to the course later on. But tell me a bit about the deal now. We're going to talk about specifically how do you move from the system of kind of educating yourself around title split? You've read this book, and then how do you then get into the deal itself, and how has that worked out for you?
Yeah. So for me, the biggest obstacle for me was location.
Yeah.
To find a block of flats,
Yes.
I had to broaden my horizon.
Yes.
Initially, I spent the first few months looking for locally. I thought my comfort zone was in the Midlands.
Yeah.
I knew the tradesmen. I knew all the suppliers. I thought, stick to the Midlands.
Yeah.
But when I started digging deep, trying to source, I thought, I need to broaden. And we had that conversation.
Yes.
So therefore...
So one of the things, just to add to people listening here, I hear this all the time. People say, have you got something half an hour from my house?
Yes.
Have you got a block? Can I buy a block which is on my road? Well, actually, the prism that we were looking at it, or people come to it as, they look at location-based investment rather than financial investment. Here, you're buying passive income. The key here, the aim of the game is to buy the highest yielding passive income investment that you can get, rather than what's next door to your house. And I think, once I kind of described it in that way, you were like, okay, that makes sense now, because looking at it in Birmingham way, the money was not there for you to make money to kind of then build that portfolio. So then you started to look out, and what did you find?
There was plenty out there. And I mean, there's plenty out there.
Yes.
What I found was I went out of my comfort zone.
Yeah.
And then travelled.
Yes.
And went on site, did site visits.
Yeah.
Some are great, some are not great, some are overpriced.
And I think you're downplaying this a little bit. So part of the course, it's a week 3 on the one-to-one course, I say to people, right, okay, so before we got to that point, Mukesh was very analytical. He's very analytical, very spreadsheet driven. So you were playing about with numbers. And changing variables on your spreadsheet to try and see whether they will fit, until I then had that conversation. Look, you've got to put your shoes on and go out there and actually start to see things. And to your credit, you did. That weekend, you drove 3 hours and you were there and started to see things. So walk me through that that conversation we had, and what did you do next?
Yeah, so I drove 3 hours, left at 5 o'clock in the morning,
Yeah.
woke up at 4, and then I had a block viewings of a number of flats that day. And what was interesting is I thought, I've come to a location, I thought, there is loads of blocks here.
Yeah.
It's just trying to find the right one that will fit into the strategy from all the teachings that he provided us.
Yes.
You know, looking at things like he's got split utilities, has got planning, has he got 30 square meters. You know, there's a whole load of different variables you have to follow.
Yeah.
And this is where I got to. And then I had to put the fear factor behind my back of my head.
Yes.
Out of my comfort zone.
Yes.
And I thought, you know what? I'm enjoying this.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying it. I'm doing something different that I've never ever done before.
Yes.
It was scary.
Yeah.
And one thing that I learned from you, you
Yeah.
said title splitting is not easy.
Yeah.
It is hard work.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this is exactly what it is.
It's complex, right?
It's
So-
complex.
So it's the complexity, because if it was easy, believe me,
Everyone
everybody
will
will be
do it.
doing it.
Correct.
The idea that it's complex is what protects us. It's a barrier, you know, and we're talking about, you know, Trump's putting barriers up. You know, that complexity of title split is a barrier for people to enter. And unless you know the knowledge and you've got the money, it's really hard to get into it. So you go to that place and you start to see things. One of the things you asked me at that time, I'm sure you'll recall, is, well, how am I going to find the builders? You know, if I buy something here, what am I going to do? How am I going to develop this thing?
Yeah.
So what did I ask you to do during that time when you were on site? And to your credit, you did everything that I could have asked you to do. What did you do? Drive around and look for what?
So you said go and look for builders.
Yeah.
So look at builders' vans.
Yes.
So look at builder vans. So there was I recall there was a builder working in a fish and chip shop. His van was there. I went to speak to him.
Yes.
Saw him.
Yeah.
So that's one of the builders spoke to.
Yeah.
He used to go to local Facebook pages. I went to a Facebook page.
Yeah.
Go and speak to all the local agents.
Yeah.
If they know any builders
Yeah.
or suppliers, and also building relationships with letting agents because of future management of a property and what they think the value of each rent is. So I sat down with every single agent and I said, these are the block of flats. You tell me, what do you think the future value rental income is on these once
Amazing.
done up, refurbished? And this is what I did. And to be honest, before I got to these properties, I already made contact with a builder on Facebook.
Yeah.
From his page, his
yeah.
page, and he met me at the property, and he's the one I appointed.
And this, I mean, you're saying this is normal stuff. The amount of work you've done to get to the point where we're going to talk about your deal next, that you bought this deal, is phenomenal, because you not only did the physical stuff, you can't replace that, going out there, physically seeing the location, seeing the area, seeing the blocks, seeing the people that you may be working with as either estate agents or not. Because lots of people say, well, I've done a right move calculation, or I've been to Zoopla and I've looked at the valuation. Well, actually, you need to triangulate for 3 or 4 different ways: property data, online platforms, as well as talking to agents. These lot they know the area far more than anybody else. So you did all of that, and then you found the builder. I mean, that is phenomenal work. That before our conversation, you were like, oh, you were a lot more scared of investing that big chunk of money from an inheritance that you'd got. So how did you feel that you then, once you found the builder, you found the block? So now start to talk to us about, what did you buy? How much did you pay? How much did you spend? And what's the GDV?
Yeah, so the block of it's a block of 3 flats.
Yeah.
In the northeast.
Yeah.
A great location is in the Old Town, in the conservation area.
Yeah.
It was purchase price of 142,000. Okay.
That's an amazing below market value price.
Yeah, below market value price.
Yeah.
Refurb cost was roughly about £30,000.
Okay, so 170 now.
Yeah. And rental income we're 1,900.
Okay.
And the GDV is 295,000.
So you paid 170. The GDV is almost 300,000.
Yes.
So you've made 130,000 uplift.
Yes, correct.
In 3 blocks.
Correct.
And you're now making £1,900 a month on your passive, on your rent.
Correct.
Wow. Is that what you expected to do when you first came to the course?
No, I expected to. Do you know what? I don't know what to expect. I thought I expected at least we get some of our money back.
Yeah.
And then we can use some of our portions, because obviously it was just all new to me.
Yeah.
But once we started working out the calculations and figures, I thought, you know what, this is a really good strategy.
Yeah.
It's hard work,
Yeah.
but it works.
Lots of components, right, along the way.
There's a whole lot of process.
Yes.
So I created which I shared with you,
Yes,
a process
very
chart.
good. Yes.
A process chart of
That's the
every single-
marketeer in you, right?
Yeah,
the
so
Gantt
much,
charts
yeah,
that
Gantt chart, yeah. So I
Yeah.
created a process
Yeah.
of every single process involved
Yes.
in the title splitting process.
Yes.
And for me, following that process
Yeah.
works.
Yeah. And I think that was really good to see visually the step-by-step
Yes.
mark of it. Now, just to go back on that deal again. So you bought at 170. It's now worth, say, 290. So you've made an uplift of £120,000. And when you come to recycle your capital, how much capital did come out?
Well, it's coming out after paying off the bridge
Yeah.
and everything. I think it's coming up 110,000.
And how much did you put in?
Um,
What did you start with?
we start all in.
No. With the money you had to buy the building to begin with, your inheritance money was 100 grand, right?
Yeah,
So you now have taken more money than what you put in.
absolutely. We put in just under 100.
Amazing. And you know what? Earlier on, we had a guest that we were talking about unicorn deals, right? Unicorn deals mean like, you know what, you buy something, you do it up, and then you take your money out, but sometimes you take more money out. That, to me, is what you're doing here. You've just done.
Yes.
And when I met you and your wife, when you came to you sign all the paperwork, I think you were delighted, right?
Yes.
So, what is the plan for 2025?
So we now started. We bought our next block.
Hang on, you've already bought it. Wow.
Yes. So now it's going through a legal process.
Amazing.
So that again is a block of 3 flats, but
Yeah.
they're larger flats.
Okay. Same area. Ish.
Ish. Yeah.
So you can use same builders?
Potentially.
Right. So efficiency.
Yeah.
So you start to now cut down your learning.
Correct.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah.
So, and do you mind sharing what the purchase price is and
Yeah.
what do you think the GDV might
Yeah. So the purchase price is 155,000.
be? Okay.
The GDV is going to be 315,000.
Right, so it's almost over double.
Yes.
And
the
what
rental is 1850.
So say about the same amount of
Yeah.
money, you're doubling your
Yeah.
your entry point to
Yeah.
the GDV, and how much cost?
Refurb is
Yeah.
you're talking about 40 to 45.
Amazing. So within 2 deals, you would have bought yourself £4,000 worth of income.
Correct.
Amazing. So before you turn to title split, that same money would have got you about £300-400 a month.
Yeah.
On the buy-to-let?
buy-to-let, yeah.
Wow. Okay. So it does work.
But also the money would have been tied into a buy-to-let.
And waiting for 5 years.
I waited for 5 years for
Yeah.
a capital appreciation,
Yeah.
if it does, and depends on the market.
So my scare point with my mentees is always like, right, I'm ready to leave my job now. is because I'm going to start making so much money. So if you think about it, the average wage in the UK is £30,000, 2.5 grand. So within almost one deal, you've replaced that income,
Correct.
which is crazy. Okay, so talking a bit more about now the course and your kind of learning from it, and how much has it helped you get on your way to your financial goals for the future?
Yeah, so the course was, for us, for me, was absolutely amazing. It was a real eye-opener.
Yeah.
It's intense.
Yeah.
Intense 2 days.
Yeah.
A learning about the whole process. Some of the areas I had an understanding,
Yeah.
but quite majority I did not had the knowledge of.
Yeah.
However, this is where you came in.
Yeah.
You provided a step-by-step guide,
Yeah.
and of whole process.
Yeah.
You gave real-life examples,
Yeah.
and I think that really, really helped. And I think going forward, that has helped me understand of how to recycle the money out, and then reinvest again.
So if you had to pick out all of the stuff, and then after the course, the one-to-one, the hand-holding, all of the process, what do you think is one thing you think, you know what, had I not done this, I don't think I would have been here in the position that you're in now, talking about the success you're having. What is that? Is there one thing that you think that we've added to your understanding of the process or the ability to execute on it? What would that be?
I would say the hand-holding process.
Okay.
For me, I mean,
Why do you say that?
Because it's a complex process.
Yeah.
It's difficult.
Yeah.
And it's not easy, and you need someone who's got the expertise to understand the process. And you provided me the guidance and advice and the golden nuggets, I call it. And I think that was, for me, the icing on the cake.
So for people listening or watching here, so what Mukesh is talking about, so I do a one-to-one program where people come in and they do the 4 weeks content and learning, as well as then 6 hours of basically hand holding. That what we're talking about here is when you get to the legal and the legal process. I am there on the phone or connecting you with the team to be able to then hand hold you through the process of what goes into the lease, what kind of information, what's the service charge, what's the lease number of years, and when it comes to the deal analysis, we look at it together, we crunch the numbers together. So those are the things that we're talking about. And sometimes it's just a WhatsApp. You text me, you say, oh, what about this? It could be just one question, but if you don't have the answer at that minute, people get stuck.
Correct.
And that's why I've designed this course in a way that I can handhold people through the process of it. And I'm hoping that's led to you basically making decisions as you go along with the confidence that you can answer those questions and get the right answers, hopefully.
Absolutely. Everything's a learning process.
Yes.
I've learned a lot from every single stage of this whole process, and the guidance you gave me.
Yeah.
And then I know that going forward, I would know the answers. However, each project you learn
Slightly
from
different.
It'll be different, and you learn from it.
Yes, yeah. Even down to bridging. We had a bridger earlier on. How you blend on something is completely different. So we were talking earlier on in a different guest. We were saying we can bridge on something that's got no debt on. So now I know you've got unencumbered stuff. So all of a sudden you can start to think, you know what? Oh, well, actually, I don't need to go and get a mortgage. I can just bridge on that building that's got no debt on it. Get, say, 200-300 grand out of it, buy the next building. The next building is also going to give me some money on the bridge. So now you end up buying things without putting any money down. And those are the things that I think, as you say, it's a journey. We're always learning as we go along. And I think one of the things that the hand-holding process does, that people say to me, is it's just having that person on the phone, on an email or a text that can just answer that question. Okay, so I guess the last thing around, the courses, would you recommend somebody's thinking about it, title split, it is a complex procedure, it's a complex process. Is it worth going on this course or not?
Okay, so my answer to this question is, if you're willing to do hard work and if you want to change your strategy and have passive income and recycle money, then absolutely. One of the other benefits of this course is access to your power team.
Okay.
For me, that was absolutely fundamental. Whether it's finance, the brokers, you got the legal team, you got the accounting team. Yeah. You need that access to a power team that's available to the mentees, and I think it's fundamental because that power team, it helps you drive forward.
And I think that's so true, Mukesh, because I've done it for 15 years, and for the first few years, I used to make mistakes, get the wrong lawyer, and they've done something wrong on the lease. We'll get the wrong accountant or a tax advisor telling me something different in terms of structure, paying more tax. And then the broker is using standard method of funding and saying, oh, we can't do it. How many times have we all heard people say, oh, I couldn't get funding. The lawyer said, that's not a title split project. And my answer to people now that's thinking, well, my standard broker said he can't do it, and my lawyer said he can't do it. Well, problem is you're asking the wrong people those questions. And I think as part of the course, I realized very early that for me, the success of my mentees is how I determine the success of the course. The more people that come through and exit and buy properties is how I define it. And I realized very quickly that half of the course is dependent on the team that comes after the content. Because if you don't know where to go to get the money, where to go to get the legals and the lease created, the tax advice, the floor plans, Andrew, going around in, all over the country to go and draw floor plan. If you don't have those people, you get stuck. So I think you're right in saying that, it's good to not just get me and the content, but to get that team. And I think we will carry on doing that as we go along. And my last question is, because it's social media, because we are, this is going to be a video as well as a podcast. My question that I've got to ask you is as it for real or another social media wannabe? What would you say to that?
He's absolutely real. You get a lot of people trying to sell you training courses on the property online. Yeah. But for me, I've been on a few training courses. I've been on a lot of free webinars and free networking events. Yeah. But your training course was, for me, absolutely real. So what he's showing you on social media is absolutely true. They're real life examples. He also shares mentee story. So it's not only his own examples, but also his mentee stories. So if anyone's seriously about going into title splitting, I suggest you join his one-to-one.
Good. Well, that's really nice of you to say, because I think it is hard. Everybody can say anything on social media, and there's no vetting. And people say, "Oh, well, I want to do this course," and also the other thing is something's free. There's something not right. Nobody gives you anything for free. Why would I give 25 years of experience and knowledge and content and access to a team for free? And people just have to think, if something's for free, if it's like the adage says, if something's too good to be true, it probably is, right? So thank you for that. So in terms of last thoughts around future. So do you intend to carry on? Now, I know you're on a second block. So what is the plan for the next 5 years?
So the next 5 years, we are planning to purchase further blocks,
okay,
and probably upscale to larger blocks.
Amazing. So
you're
going from 3 to 4, now to go 4
to 5. Yeah,
perfect.
So that's the plan to upscale.
And I think going down the route of where the stamp duty changes will also push us for bigger blocks.
Absolutely.
From a kind of savings perspective as well. And I think these also the other thing that I will say to you right now, but also other people as well, mixed use. Don't discount mixed use commercial, because not only do we get the stamp duty, we can also, I've got a couple of mentees at the moment using their SAS pensions to invest in the commercial unit bit of it, and then getting mortgage on the kind of residential part of it. So there's so many more things that we can do this year, next year onwards. The key here is about having the mindset to take the action, having the hard work ethic to get up, do the 4 o'clock getting up, 5 o'clock driving, 3 hours away, meeting people, uncomfortable stuff, but look at the result that you've got.
Absolutely.
But on that note, Mukesh, thank you so much for travelling from Birmingham all the way to smoggy London. No doubt that, I'm up in Warsaw in the next couple of weeks. I'll definitely link up with you. We'll go and grab a coffee, or you can come and actually have a look at this building and see and show you what we've bought. I bought a church.
Yes.
So you can see my church and get some praying done. But listen, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
I will see you. I will let you know, obviously, once this is ready, and then we can do some more the next time round.
Yeah, brilliant. Thank you, mate.
Take care, mate.
Thank you.